your head is so deep into getting everything done. And then you have days where you are in the mix, running around, making stuff happen. And you don't have time to put on makeup and get cute. So hey, everybody. Hey, Facebook. Nicole Cooper here. I'm in my workout clothes, but I needed to come on today because I just got to come on. Like, y'all know me. My schedule will be cray-cray, and I got to hop on when I have something very important to talk about. So I want to hop on here really quickly and talk to you guys about why 6 figures should be the new minimum wage and how you guys can level up your life and your income by doing a few key things, okay? So before we get started, I want to make sure that everybody goes and subscribes to paidlikeanexpert.com, paidlikeanexpert.com. Write that down, get on over there, and make sure that you go ahead and you subscribe, okay? So no makeup today, no glam. Your girl got a lot to do today. And so I'm still in workout clothes, still headed to the gym, still got a lot going on. But I want to hop on you guys today about why 6 figures need to be the new minimum wage and what you guys need to look out for. Before we do this, I am doing a masterclass on Saturday. This masterclass is for people who have a skill, an area of expertise, knowledge that you know people need, but you just don't know how to package up and put it out there, right? Preferably if you're in the digital marketing space, you've done things, whether it's like graphic design, you understand sales funnels, email campaigns, social media marketing, you know, all those rigmaroles. I really am talking to many of you guys on today, okay? So just for those of you who do not know me, my name is Nicole Cooper. I'm a digital marketing consultant and business coach, and I actually help people in many ways, how to get their ideas turned into income and how to turn their expertise into empires. One of the key things that I'm doing in this season is working with people who are like myself. You got all this knowledge, all these skills. People are calling on you all the time, pulling and tugging, picking your brain, but you feel underpriced, undervalued, and you're ready to get to a place where you can start leveling up and packaging yourself with services that are making it worth your time. So today on Facebook, or yesterday on Facebook, I put a post up, and that post was basically saying that this is the season that the chapter of life where you know your worth and you act accordingly, okay? You know your worth and you act accordingly. Now, you have people who are going to tell you that, and then people are going to be like, well, yeah, you know, I'm worth this, that, and the other, and people should pay me because I'm worth this. Okay, so you're going to have those who are good talkers and think they're worth more than what they're willing to work for, right? Then you have those who are worth a lot. They just don't know how to put themselves out there. They got the work ethic. Their follow through is there. They do what they say they're going to do. They're committed to their process. They're willing to invest the time to build themselves and to grow. I'm talking to y'all. I'm not talking to the lazy people who want to sit on social media all day, click a few buttons, become an influencer, be hella rich, and do nothing for that. If that's you, get off my video, because you're not the person that I'm talking to. I'm not talking to all of you dreamers either who are out here looking for the magic bullet. You want to invest in one thing and then you're hoping by tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire because you have this very falsified way of thinking that you know, everything comes easy and you don't have to do much for it. Not talking to you either. Goodbye if that's you. I'm talking to those of you who have real tangible skills, real areas of expertise, real hardcore knowledge that you know is valuable, that people are reaching out to you for, but you always feel stuck because you just don't know how to package it. You don't know how to present it. You don't know how to price it. You don't know how to get yourself out there. I'm gonna share with y'all why 6 figures should be the new minimum wage for you, and what some key things are that you need to do to begin to package yourself. But I want to talk about something specifically before we get into that, and that is knowing how to offer services to a premium paying audience. What do I mean by that? There are tons of people out here, y'all, that they need stuff done and they don't want to think about it. They don't want to figure it out. They don't want to take a class for it. They don't want to pay for a course. They don't want to go to a conference. They don't want to go to a boot camp. They don't want to sit in a 6-week or 6-month mastermind. They want to hire somebody that is highly qualified to do something, but they don't know where to find you, right? So I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my story, my journey, really quick, so that y'all can understand kind of the behind the scenes of how I got here and why I'm having this conversation and why this is a very pressing, urgent need, right? Because I literally have people wanting to work with me now. I can't take them on as clients. I don't have capacity. I don't have, I just don't have enough time in a day to be able to support people the way that they need to be supported. And so my background, y'all, is I got started online on the internet back in 2007. It was right after the real estate recession. I was a real estate agent. We went from being on cloud nine on billboards and bus stops and magazines and this, that, and the other. I thought I was going to be like the #1 agent in the city of Orlando, which we all did, right? And the market crashed. And when the market crashed, we had to find a replacement of a career path because the real estate market just was suppressed for a while. So I ended up getting online and discovering this whole concept called Make Money Online. And this was back in 2007 when MySpace was big. And so, you know, we were on MySpace, right? YouTube was brand spanking new. Facebook hadn't even come out yet. There was no such thing as Instagram or any of that. It was all on the beginning stages where blogs were new. Article marketing was big. And people were just trying to figure this internet thing out. This is when the internet was just emerging into something. And people were at a place where they were like, does it work? Should I use it? Should I trust it? Can I do it? Right? It was kind of like this iffy thing. Do I really want to do it? Fax machines were still a big deal. Email was still a brand new concept where people were kind of getting familiar with doing everything through email. And it was just a different era. But what I did when I first got started online, guys, is I just started buying classes and learning about this industry. And as I started learning about this industry, instead of, you know, back then branding wasn't a big conversation yet. Instead of trying to go out here and make $1 gazillion for myself, I became a service provider. So if I took a class and I learned about blogging, and I, you know, I really didn't know what I would do with a blog for myself. I started offering services to other people. Hey, do you want a blog? I'll build a blog for you. When article marketing was very huge, back then it was eZine articles, right? I don't even know if that site still exists, but people were trying to get into search engines through articles. I didn't know I knew how to write, but I offered articles as a service, right? I used to sell articles for $10, and I started a company called Article Marketing Geeks. .com. It was 2008. For $10 an article, I would write an article for you. But what I would do is, as I was learning something, instead of me, like back then I wasn't trying to build no brand. I didn't know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to make extra money to pay our bills. I was broke. I was on welfare. I was pregnant. Trying to recover from the real estate market collapsing, from being foreclosed, whatever, all that stuff we went through. But my whole thing was, as I learn it, I'm going to put it to work, offering it as a service provider to somebody else. So I went from knowing nothing to learning and building MySpace pages for people, writing articles for people. I wrote books for people. I built their blogs. I did their graphics. I didn't know what I was doing. But back then we could hire somebody in India for $2 an hour, and we could get them to do the work. And we kind of acted as the mediator. I was an agent. I had an agency back then. I didn't even know what an agency was. But the whole thing is there was always somebody who did not know what I knew that were willing to pay me, right? And I remember going into, back then, Ning. Was it Ning? Was a big thing? Ning? Y'all remember that? Ning sites were really big. I was a professional spammer, okay? Back then I would spam every website that had people in it. I'd be like, yo, here's my services. I do articles. I create blogs. I do create MySpace pages, and I would just spam myself in everybody's Ning site. And I remember this lady was a therapist, and she reached out to me, and she was like, I'm trying to build a blog, and I'm trying to learn this internet thing, and I would love to hire you for help. Her name was Darshana Hawks. I'll never forget. We still keep up, her and her husband and I, to this day. And she wanted to hire me. So she started hiring me to build her blog. I think I charged her like $400, which was like a huge deal. I was like, oh my God, $400 for this blog. I'm balling, right? But then we did a contract where she wanted me to write her posts, do her graphics, help with her social media, all this stuff. And it was like a $1,500 contract. And I remember I was excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm making $1,500. And that was kind of like my introduction to an agency concept. So long story short, worked for her, built everything out, became really good friends, started doing a lot of things for her. And then over the years, I would build my own businesses online. And when I got sick and tired of like the network marketing industry and wanted to take a break, or the internet marketing industry and wanted to take a break, I would just take on clients for services, right? It was just like, I had this skill. I would use it for myself for a little while. Then I would get, y'all know this game, you get burned out. You don't want to be bothered. Then you're like, I'm just going to take a few clients. And then I kind of did this whole process over the years since 2007. Well, flash forward to today. Today, over the last, I would say about the last 3 to 4 years, I've been running a full-on content marketing agency, right? So essentially people come to me and they want, whether they are creating courses, whether they're launching their programs, whether they want a whole online marketing blueprint and strategy, whatever it is that they're trying to get their business up and running. I'm kind of like a one-stop solution kind of person because I've done so many things in the past that usually people have to go to 10 different people to figure out. They go to this person to get the strategy. They go to this person to figure out how to do the branding. They go to this person to figure out the marketing, and this person for sales funnels, and this person for, I'm kind of a person that knows all that stuff. And so it's been to my advantage, but sometimes to my disadvantage, right? And I say advantage because I can help the person, but it's a disadvantage because I can't service all those areas, right? So it's like, I tend to help people more than I really have capacity for, and it can be an overwhelming process, which is why they say find a niche and focus on it. So I say all that to say, over the last couple of years, I've gotten tons of clients. I charge 5 figures and above for my services. It's awesome to be getting paid that kind of money. But what I find, y'all, is that it's just only so much that I can do, right? It's like I want to save people from their internet marketing woes. I want to help everybody get this big brand going. I want to see people win and make a ton of money and all of that. But I realize that it's time for me to not be the person to do those things. It's time for me to help people learn how they can turn their skills into that service. Because I really believe there's no amount of money that people will not be willing to pay me. Like I have corporations coming to me with 7-figure deals to help them build courses. And I have the small business owner who's willing to pay whatever to get me to work with them. And it's very, it's very exciting, right? But at the same time, capacity is everything. And then there comes a place in your journey where you have to ask yourself, like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Or is it something that I should actually be handing off and showing others how to do? And we're at that handoff season. So I say all that to say, one of the key things that I'm going to be doing is teaching people how to turn your skills and your knowledge into high ticket services, right? Premium services where people will pay you. But guys, I'm only talking to people with integrity. I'm only talking to people who have a skill that they're willing to work. I'm only talking to people who have a work ethic. I'm only talking to people who are willing to follow through. I'm only talking to people that are committed to their craft, right? Because a lot of times people hear this kind of stuff, you hear money and you're like, oh, I can do that. And then you get in the job and realize, oh, I don't want to do this. So here's what's happening right now. There is a shortage of service providers. There is a shortage of people who are highly skilled and knowledgeable in their area of expertise available to support people. I'm specifically talking to folks who have digital marketing experience. If you do not have digital marketing experience and you're trying to get your life together and you're looking for a new career path and you know you want to make good money, you know you want something that will be able to level you up. Like there's so many stages in this digital space. You can start off as a service provider, turn it into a coaching program, turn it into a consulting company, turn it into a course. You can turn it into so many things, into software. There's just so many ways to level up this industry and level up this knowledge that you never take a loss when you get into the game of digital marketing. You never take an L. You're never going to be floundering around trying to figure out what to do with these skills. You're actually going to have way more options than you know what to do with. So what I'm going to be doing, you guys, is on Saturday, I'm going to be doing a masterclass. This masterclass is for people who have skills and they want to learn how to level it up so that you can begin to turn it into premium offers to a high ticket service or a service or consulting package, because people are looking for you. So let me give you an example, right? I have people coming to me right now. You guys probably saw a young lady fly in this past weekend because we did her course. These are people who bought courses. They will sit in boot camps. They will sit in master classes. They will spend the money. They will even go to conferences, but they don't have the time. They don't want to sit down and go through 1,000 videos. They don't want to sit down and be trying to figure out how to use different software. They don't have time to try to figure out how this is supposed to be mapped out as my course. They would much rather pay a high ticket 5-figure or whatever your fee is, for you to take the load and for you to just sit down so that they don't have to think about it. Most of my clients will tell me, I don't want to think about it. I don't even want to know what you do. Just tell me what I need to do. And that's where I'm at with my team. The team that I hire, I tell them, you have complete autonomy. This is your role. You are the CEO of your position. I need you to do all the thinking. I don't want to think. I don't want to have to learn nothing new. All I want to do is tell you what I want and ask questions, and I need you to get it done. I don't want you to come back to me with 50 different options. I want to tell you what I want, and I need you to produce it, and that's it. Because people who are big on their journeys of success, they are really, really protective about their time. They do not have time to waste. And when you get to a place where you understand your craft, when you become a master of your industry, and you know what you're really, really good at, you get really good at delegation. You get okay with, I suck at this area, I suck at that area, I suck at that area. That means hire, hire, hire. That means that I'm going to pay somebody who is highly knowledgeable in these areas, and I want them to take it over. And that's where most people don't win in the game of being a service provider or a consultant, right? Because many people out here, I see all these folks who promote themselves as, I'm a social media manager, or I'm a automation expert, or I'm a writer, or whatever. The issue with most service providers right now is that you're still waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. You still have an employee mindset. So that means that if you're not told, you don't do nothing. You feel like if somebody doesn't give you every single step to take, you're insecure about taking a step. And that is the $15, $20 an hour virtual assistant, or task assignment based person versus the consultant service provider who will charge a flat rate of $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month for their services. The person over here who charges $2, $3, $5 like me, we do all the thinking. My clients come to me with one request. I want to launch a course on X, Y, and Z. I give them a to-do list of what I need from them. And once they put that bad boy in my hand, it's done. We go through, we do the research, we map out the process, we lay out the course, we talk about the assets, we do. All we rely on them for is the expertise, and they're the personality. They're doing the talking, they're doing the teaching, they're the face. But my client didn't have no time. Like, there's things that I require of people before they come. But I've also learned how to work with busy people. Right? So I tell them, just give me this. I just want you to do a brain dump of everything you feel you need to be said in this course. Fortunately, she had a topic that I'm familiar with a real estate background that I have, and also something that was easy to research online. When she came to me, I had everything mapped out in 12 pages worth of content. She gave me like 2 pages. I turned that 2 pages into 12 pages worth of content that we would cover in this course. So when she came, I already had the course mapped out. I had the lessons set up. I had the assets designed. I had everything that we needed. I knew all the from start to finish what the course needed to look like and what was in it. And that made her feel good because she was like, man, I didn't even think about all this stuff. And that's the reality of hiring somebody at a high level for high ticket prices as a premium service provider, as opposed to somebody who say, I can do it, but they don't do nothing beyond what you tell them to do, right? I have clients that come to me with social media content. I don't do social media content. I do social selling content for my clients. So what does that mean? You might have somebody you hire as a social media manager. That social media manager gonna probably put some cute quotes up. They might get some pretty pictures, and then they might make some pretty captions. If it's not converting into sales, who cares, right? What we do is we figure out what's your offer, and we create all the content around the offer. And now everything we do is intended to sell. These are the kind of things that we teach, and I will be teaching in this masterclass on Saturday on how to turn your expertise into an empire, how to get paid like an expert. And there are those of you, y'all, there are so many of us. We have way more than we give ourselves credit for, and we keep playing small. We keep, undervaluing ourselves, underpricing ourselves, or don't price ourselves at all. And then we get frustrated because we see people doing what we know how to do, but they're having way more success. And we're asking ourselves, like, how come they're winning and I'm not? Well, the difference is who's going to put themselves out there. Y'all, you got people who are out there that don't know what the heck they're doing. But guess what? They are one heck of a marketer. They know how to sell themselves. Their content is well written for them to be able to entice the right audience. Their pictures are pretty. They do all the right things. Now, what they get on the back end, I don't know, right? A lot of times, not the best, but they get it done. They're out there. They have a presence. So I'm going to wrap this up. But if you are ready to turn these skills into a successful business, if you are tired of sitting on this area of expertise, I've been sitting on it for years. As far as I haven't put it out there like this, like I've been wanting to do a program to teach you guys how to turn your skills into a six-figure business. But I just needed to make time, right? So now I'm making time and I'm just at capacity, like people coming at me left and right. Nick, can you do? And I got to turn business away all the time because I can't do it anymore. I don't have, even with the team, I have a team of 7 people that support me, but it's like a realization of this is not your position to fulfill every need of these clients. It's your position to help people learn how to do what you do. So now you can refer good people who are ready to actually do the work to these folks that need that support and need that help. And so if you are, can you provide your website for services you provide? I don't have a website. Cheryl said, can you provide your website? Okay, so here's the thing. I do not have a website that tells people what I do. Not something to be proud of. It's just something I never got to. And so there's 2 reasons why. The first reason is I just never had to, because so much business comes to me that I never had to do it. And then the second is I didn't want to, because it's like what I do is so involved that I didn't know if I wanted to be available all the time to take on new clients. So I took clients as they came, and I actually preferred it that way. So I never put myself out there about, come to me, I'll help you build your core. I didn't have to. I was fortunate enough through all these years of doing what I do to attract business to me that I didn't have to tell people what I did, because I had so many warm market people in my circle that it just worked for me that way. But now I'm just finally packaging things up, putting it out there, and putting it in a brand where I feel good about putting it out there, right? The thing about what I do is so involved, right? That it's like I only want to take on so many clients a year because it is very brain involved. So I've had the pleasure of being able to pick and choose who, what, when, where, why, and how. And so I just never packaged it up. But I will be putting some things together moving forward and being able to actually show people how they can do it. I do it for my clients. Like my clients, I map everything out. We create the content, build the websites. I write their bios, do all of that. And I can do it for myself. But it's so funny. I feel like I've spent all these years trying to figure out who I wanted to be when I grew up, right? Because when you're in this industry, you learn so much, but you got to ask yourself, what do I want to commit to? Because I can do a lot of things, but just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And unfortunately, I've done probably all of it as a business. Some of it I enjoyed, and some of it I was like, this is so far out of my wheelhouse. I need not to be doing this, even though I know how, right? So my goal moving forward is simply teaching, training, coaching, and showing people who are service providers, freelancers, or knowledge-based experts how to package their information and turn it into high-ticket offers or services. Right? How do you actually package yourself so that you can take on a client for a premium price? When I say high ticket services, you guys, I'm saying, having rates $2,000, $2,500 a month, right? But your service matches that, right? Some of my clients pay me $5,000 a month, right? What's so cool about premium services versus these low ticket services is that you can put way more effort into your clients because you're not scrounging around for money, right? It's like when you charge somebody $100 or $200 a month or $500 a month, you know, and you take on 4 or 5 clients, that's $2,500, but you working for 5 people, right? You have these demands. And the problem as a service provider, when you provide services to people, if you don't know how to have boundaries in your business, something called scope creeps always creeps in. Scope creep is when I hire you to be my social media content writer, but I want you to do everything else. I want you to do my graphics. I want you to do my scheduling. By the way, can you help me build my website? Can you help me with my content for my website? Can you help me with my email? It's like people start asking for more and more and more. And as a service provider, most of us don't know how to say no, and we don't know where the boundaries are. I'm going to show you guys how to build that out. How do you develop programs and services that have very clear outcomes? And then how do you actually work with your clients so that you stay in your lane, right? You don't have these bleeding lines that they ask you to do everything else, and then you find yourself getting paid $500 a month to run somebody's entire business. And if they don't make $1 million, they cussing you out because they feel like you are behind their success. Not real. As a service provider, you got to know who you are, what you do, and what you bring to the table, and what you don't, or what you're not responsible for. And these are the kind of things that we learn. But as I was saying earlier, you know, people might do $500 a month for a client and think, oh my God, they paying me $500, but 5 clients is $2,500. I don't know about y'all, but that ain't gonna do nothing for me, right? That might be the mortgage. That's it. That's not the car note. I can't pay myself. I can't hire an assistant. You know, if I pay taxes, I'm really out of luck, right? If I got to pay for software or anything else, it's so crunched in that you can barely get by. I want to help people make 20K months your new minimum wage. I think every business to function at least with oxygen needs $25,000 a month. You need $25,000 a month. Why? If you think about, let's just say $20,000 a month. $20,000 a month, you pay taxes, that's $5K already gone. Okay? You got $15K left. You take that $15K, you want to pay yourself. You might pay yourself what? $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Let's say you pay yourself half of $15,000. That's $7,500. To me, that's bare minimum to cover your household. I don't know where y'all live or what y'all do, but when you think about rent or mortgage, car note, all the utilities and things like that, I feel like the average household might have about $4,000 to $5,000 a month worth of bills, including groceries and things like that. Then you want extra money to invest, get insurance. If you're an entrepreneur, you need health insurance, you need life insurance. Our health insurance every month is what, $1,200, $1,300 a month just for health insurance, right? So you think about all those things. $7,500 will about get you by. Now you have another $7,500 available. You still got to pay for your overhead for your business, your software, your tools. Do you need staff, right? Do you have to hire somebody? Do you need to hire a business coach or whatever? But to me, 20K months are about the minimum wage that an entrepreneur should be at, functioning at, to breathe, to have oxygen. Right? And even at 20K months, depending on your business model, it still might not be enough, right? To one person, 20K may be great. To another person, that's their payroll. I know people who got 20K just on payroll, 30K a month on payroll because of the kind of business that they're running. If you run an e-com business where you have a warehouse and you have staff and you have to buy inventory, 20K is not going to cut it, right? You have to go and invest in more inventory. You're paying a leasing space. You're paying staff to come and help do the boxes. Or if you have fulfillment, you have a fulfillment house. Like, y'all, listen, these numbers get real when you're an entrepreneur. And so we have to understand, like, what should be our minimum wage and how do we play bigger so that it can actually make us more money, so that we can start getting in a place where we can afford to build a business. Because there's a such thing as I can't even afford to build my business, right? I know for me, there's things that I'm paying for right now with my staff. I'm investing in a mastermind group. I have to now level up with bookkeepers. You got the CPAs. I mean, shoot, I just dropped almost $5,000 to my CPA. I had to pay an attorney $10,000 the other day, right? Like when you get into a business, The expenses, your money going out is at a much different level. So, you know, I was talking to a friend the other day. It was like, you can have 50,000 coming in, but you got 30,000 going out. So running a company, if you're looking to build a real business, you know, it takes leveling up. Stop playing small. Know how to package yourself and show up in the fullest capacity of your greatest strength so that you can be able to go full out and do well with what you do and create a group of raving fans who constantly support that you are the go-to source for what it is that you do. You have to show up. I'm not talking to lazy people right now who don't want to level up in their life and in their business. I am not talking to you. And I'm going to tell you guys, I come from the background of network marketing and make money online and internet marketing. And to this day, although I can be making millions of dollars in that industry because I was one of the top in the industry, I walked away because the mindset of the people in those industries are not the kind of people that I want to work with. And what do I mean by that? A lot of people want to get rich quick with no investment, no effort. They go to a meeting, somebody says, I made $1 million in the last 12 months, and all I did was sign up for this company and talk to 3 people, and I got rich. And all of a sudden people think, oh, all I gotta do is talk to 3 people and I'm gonna be rich. That's not how it really works in real life. That person was probably in business 10, 15, 20 years beforehand, and this is their first big win because they got a network full of people who said yes. So I left that industry from teaching, training, coaching to go into people who are really building, you know, real businesses with where they have skill sets, areas of expertise, knowledge-based stuff that can produce results in real time for people in real life and not these fantasy-based results. And so I transitioned into this industry to really teach people how to build successfully, but it's work, right? It's work. And so what I'm going to be doing on Saturday, you guys, is I'm doing this masterclass. Make sure y'all going over to Paid Like an Expert. And I'm going to show y'all how to make 6 figures a new minimum wage for you. In my world, 6 figures, and it depends on what you say. 100,000 is poverty in my space, right? It's like you're suffocating at 100K. You're just suffering. You're barely able to get by, barely able to pay bills. You still owe Uncle Sam. You can hardly hire anybody. And it's poverty, right? But when it comes down to breathing space, you need to get to the 400, 500K, range. And it takes time to get there, but it's very possible if you flip the script on how you approach what it is that you do. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys on Saturday multiple ways to leverage that area of expertise so that you can turn it into an empire. There's a way to take what you know and turn it into multiple streams of cash flow that don't conflict with one another but support each other. And so make sure y'all going over to paidlikeanexpert.com. I am going to be putting some things out over the next couple of weeks to really talk to you guys and show you like how to level up. And one of the things too that I look forward to bringing back out, I did it last year and I gotta refine it, but it allows you to really take a quiz that's going to help you to identify where your real high level gifting skill is. Where is your 6 and 7 figure skill set at? What areas is it in? So it'll be a quiz that you guys can take, and it'll help you to identify your natural way of being that aligns with how you should be working, like what kind of business model you should have and how you can actually turn that into cash. Because some of us are way outside of our natural zone of genius, right? There's things about me that are amazing, and there's things about me that are horrible, right? And what I mean by that is I'm really, really good at strategy, vision, and business blueprints and making money. I'm good at that. But I am horrible at details, keeping track and all these little step-by-step moving parts, and I have to have a team for that. And I'm okay with that. I used to try to get good in that area. It's just not how I think. I don't function in that area. I'm not a detail-oriented person. I'm a visionary and I like to produce results. So I stay in that lane. I'm a results-driven person. So you come to me, I'm taking you straight to the finish line. I'm like, let's get to the finish line. Whereas I have a team that's like, wait, Nicole, over here, we need to have this. Over here, we need to have that. Then we need to put this in. I'm like, you do it. Let me do what I do. I'll pay you to do what you do. And we're going to have a great success story together in a partnership. A lot of you guys are trying to get good in your weak areas, and it's killing your bank account. I stopped doing that, and I stopped worrying about being bad in those areas, because I realized my zone of genius is my zone of genius. I'm gonna stick right there. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna put my time and effort into it, and that's where I'm gonna build my business. And I will build the people around me that have to support all the other moving parts that I'm not good at. So these are the kind of things that we have coming up in the upcoming weeks. You'll be able to take this quiz, kind of see where your zone of genius is, and how to turn it into your 6- and 7-figure empire. So make sure you guys head on over and register and log in for paidlikeanexpert.com. And I can't wait. God, I've been wanting to talk about this stuff in forever. So I'm going to go and finish up some of the preparation for Saturday. And yeah, it's time to get down to business. So if you're looking to turn your zone of genius into a high ticket, high paying program, and you're tired of playing small, you're tired of hiding, you're tired of being overlooked and underpaid and overworked, and now you're ready to boss up and get paid, then you need to make sure you sign up on this list. So somebody said, when you're an entrepreneur, the income you need is very different than when you're an employee. You got that right. You need real money, y'all. Like this whole, 6 figures that people be talking about. I'm like, if you talk about $100,000, that should be minimum wage. Because at this stage in the game, it ain't enough. Especially right now where housing and all this stuff inflation is like through the roof. If you don't make 6 figures right now in your life, I worry about you, because everything is inflated. Bread, milk, meat, housing, gas, cars are going to be inflated, right? Because the company in China that creates the chips for the majority of these new high-tech cars got burned down. So what does that mean? They lost the facility, and now they're going to have to rebuild. That means there's going to be a shortage of equipment for a very long time, which means that the cost of cars are going to go up. Everything is going up, but your income, right? So my goal is to really show people how to make 6 figures their new minimum wage, and then I'm going to have different programs where we stair step you up to the 7-figure range to teach people how to successfully build and scale a business up to 7 figures. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure y'all going over to paidlikeanexpert.com. Please understand the difference between working alone with no real overhead versus full-on program with employees and material costs. So your company can yield $500 a year, but how much did you make? Exactly, right? That's the point. And it depends on how people want to build. Some people want to build big businesses. Some people want to build a solo-based business. I personally am trying to fire myself every day. So I want to build businesses that over time don't need me. I don't want to be a one-man band where everything is on me and I got to be the available one and do everything. But I didn't start there. I started off as a one-man band. I hired my first couple of VAs in India for $2 and $4 an hour. They don't want that no more. You're going to be paying $50 an hour now for people in India and the Philippines and stuff like that. So it's based on where you are. But me personally, here's the thing. And I told this to my client this weekend. My client is in her early 30s. And I told her she has all this energy. She has all this drive with her business. And I said, baby, listen, maximize where you are and do everything you can do with where you're at. And I look at it like an artist and I always reference Beyonce. If y'all go and look at Beyonce's history, this young lady has a catalog of music since she was like 15. Before that, 9 years old, right? A catalog. And what her father did, which was brilliant, is based on where she was, she maximized every single moment for where she was in that season of her life. She built an album. She has a catalog. She has, this body of work in every stage that she is in. Now she's a grown woman. She's a wife. She has kids. She's a whole new person than who she was all these other years. But what she did right was she maximized every stage that she was in by producing an album, doing her clothing lines, doing her whatever. She put her best into where she was to build her catalog of business, because who she is today, she probably couldn't sing them same songs today that she did back. Like she wouldn't be in the same headspace. So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, the issue for most of us is we wait for perfection. Oh, I'm gonna wait till I get it all together. I'm gonna wait till I figure this all out. I'm gonna wait till I get certified. I'm gonna wait till I lose. We keep waiting and we miss out on the maximum of where we are. I did that. Y'all, so much stuff I started and never finished because I felt like it wasn't good enough. It wasn't perfect enough. I should have, I need to go get another certification. I got books that should have been written years ago. I got programs that should have been released years ago. Nobody knows that, because I never put that body of work out there. So now I'm like, bump it. Listen, it's always going to be somebody telling you should do things better and organize. I'm not that person. I'm that person that when I want to get something done, I put my all into it and I knock it out and it's done. And I had to stop listening to people who want to tell you all the perfect things to do before you do something. Screw them. Do what you can with where you're at, but constantly improve on it as you go along, because you're not going to be the same person 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. You're not going to have the same energy. You're not going to have the same point of view. You're not going to have the same desire. There's stuff that I was really good at 10 years ago that I don't even want to touch today. And one of them is network marketing. I was a beast at network marketing. I made millions of dollars sitting on my couch. But ask me to talk about it today. I absolutely hate talking about network marketing because it's just not something that I enjoy in this season of my life. I feel like some people gonna win, but most people gonna take an L because there's certain things that you gotta become first before you can win. And I don't have the energy to teach it. So I stopped talking about that stuff, but I could have been making millions of dollars off the information that got me to where I was, where I had those high levels of success. If I packaged it up back then, if I put it out there. But today I don't want to do it. I don't want to. People come to me all the time. Would you teach my team? No, I don't want to teach nobody's team about network marketing. I just don't. That's not my gift. That I'm good at it, but I don't want to talk about it. Right? So the reality is that you have to get to a place where you maximize where you're at with what you have in your hand, and you go full force in that thing in this season and just keep building on it as like your catalog of business, because your life will change and things will, shift over time, and you just won't be that same person. So anywho, I'm going to be talking about this stuff on Saturday, some of this stuff on Saturday. And in the upcoming weeks, I'll be releasing information to you guys about how to get paid like an expert. And you will have to qualify to work with me, right? So if y'all want to learn more about working with me, y'all, this ain't for everybody. Listen, if I learn something about this industry of coaching and mentoring people, only people get results are people who take action, right? So it's like you got a bunch of fantasy people out here. I don't work with fantasy folks. I work with folks who are committed to themselves. And that means that even if you don't know what to do, even if you deal with imposter syndrome, even if you deal with doubt, even if you have those things, you are an action taker. Like, you're going to show up, you're willing to do work, you're willing to invest in yourself, and you're willing to be plugged in, right? So those are the kind of people I'm talking to. These are the kind of people that I really want to help. And if that's you, make sure you go to paidlikeanexpert.com. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. Got work to do. I look forward to seeing y'all on Saturday. So y'all have a great and awesome week, and look out. More stuff will be coming. Make sure you join our Facebook community as well. Once you register, you'll see the link to the Facebook group, and we'll be talking in there as well. All right. Have a great day, y'all, and talk to y'all later. Bye.